This is a 2020 Green Power Cycling e-bike. They call it a cafe racer e-bike, and you can see why. This by far is the nicest e-bike that I have reviewed to date. This specific model, with the options that it has, starts at about $4,000. You can get the mid-drive version of this with a couple less little options here and there for about $3,500. And they do also have a hub motor version of this bike instead of the mid-drive motor that starts at $2,700. But I had the pleasure of meeting the co-owner of the business, and he puts a lot of thought and a lot of effort into the bike. So this bike isn't actually something you just buy from China and then slap a label on it and resell it. He actually upgrades this, you know, in-house. He buys the upgraded parts and puts them on himself because you can't buy one that's just cookie cutter of this exact model. He actually upgrades it. So I'm really excited. This thing is it's a 2 horsepower electric mid-drive motor, but it has 111 foot-pounds of torque. And apparently he towed his car with this thing. I mean, he put straps around it. You can see it scratched up. He said he was actually able to tow his Hyundai. So let me show you guys a few of this bike's unique quirks and features, and then I'm going to ride it, and then I will give it a thug score. All right, well, it may be a little bit hard for you guys to tell the scale and actually how big this thing is just from the camera, because I am also 6'3", and so I'm pretty tall, and so I probably make this thing look a little smaller than the average person. This bike is 95 pounds, so it's not light, but it's not heavy. You could pick it up if you needed to. You guys can see here the Bafang, I don't even know how to say that, mid-drive motor. A unique thing about this bike too is it actually has a torque sensor here, so as you're pedaling, it can assist you, you know, however much pressure you're giving the pedal, it assists you accordingly. All the e-bikes I've reviewed so far don't have that. It's got a motorcycle headlight, and yeah, this e-bike has all the goodies. It's got the hydraulic brakes. It's got freaking inverted forks. Like, this is motorcycle status. And this bike is a hardtail, but it does have a suspension seat, so I've yet to ride this thing, but I can imagine it's not gonna be too bumpy. But I say that's next up. Let's get this thing out on the road and let's see how it does. All right, Young Swag is helping me out now, so this is gonna be a little easier for me. So this is basically just a short, good old-fashioned, let's see how it does kind of review. It's not gonna be super in-depth, it's not gonna be super crazy, but I'm just gonna show you guys if it's impressive or if it's not. So let's get it out to the street, and I'm hoping I'm impressed. The guy also let me kind of ride his other one. He brought like 2 actually. He let me keep this one because this is kind of his favorite of the models, and they sell better than the other one. To show you guys the software that it runs. So here's the screen. It's very similar to the GDS e-bike I actually just got and I just reviewed. So let me turn it on. And these bikes, they don't actually have keys. You actually just need to enter a password. It does have a kill switch on it as well, but this one you have to enter a password. It shows you, it does its little startup sequence. And there you go. It is a very similar software again as the GDS e-bike I just reviewed, which I personally like the best out of all the e-bikes I've used. So let's see how it does. Oh, it's torquey, Okay, I'm just gonna take it up and down the street. Well, so how do I look? First of all? This is a very stylish bike. Pretty good? Good. Anyway, the ride quality from what I could tell at 12 miles an hour is pretty good. So I got to get this on the actual road and see how it actually rides at like higher speeds and whatnot. But yeah. All right, riding the Green Power Cycling e-bike, Cafe Racer e-bike. So let me show you guys the torque. I know it probably didn't look like much on camera when you guys saw it. Let's do it here. I'll show you guys. This thing's actually pretty torquey, so let's just go for it, okay? Oh, father mucker. So in this gear, it's a 55 tooth sprocket. I mean, that'll launch you. Let's try it again. It launches pretty good. But in this gear, you only get up to like 11.5 miles per hour. Let's see if I can put it into a higher gear here. Yep, it's as simple as that. All right, so let's keep shifting through the gears here. Oh wow, that's actually really smooth. I like that. Now he was saying, because the motor is so torquey, you can actually break the chain if you're just going full on throttle and just mashing through the gears. He actually broke a chain before doing that. So he told me to let off the throttle, push the gear, and then keep the throttle on. And yeah, it's shifting smooth. So let's go down this way. Let's keep going through the gears. We're up to about 22 miles per hour. Let's shift into a higher gear. We're going up to 25 miles per hour. Let's go a higher gear. Getting up to about 26, and I couldn't max that out, unfortunately. Oh yeah, that torque sensor is actually pretty nice. That read my foot pressure pretty well. Yeah, it's definitely the most powerful motor that I've had on an e-bike before. Yeah, this thing pulls pretty good. Now I wouldn't say it's incredibly powerful. I think it's a 1,600 watt motor, but it's mid-drive, so I mean you got better gearing setups and stuff. But I'm keeping it in 4th gear, and it's going pretty good. Let's see if I can get it up to 5th gear without anything happening. We're full throttle right now. We're at 26.5 miles per hour in 5th gear. All right, okay. I think he said, I can't remember how many miles he said he gets per charge. I think it was something around 50 or 60. See how it handles this bump right here. Not too bad, dude. Didn't even feel it. He wasn't kidding when he said it feels like a manual transmission, like a motorcycle. It really does, dude, clicking through the gears. Now with the motor, theoretically, if I went to 5th gear, then I went to 6th gear, okay, see, now we're getting up to speed. We're in 6th gear, we're going 26, 27, almost to 28. Okay, 28. See, now this is more like it. So 4th gear, it just wasn't seeming to pull any faster than 3rd gear. And then I put it into 6th gear, jumped 5th and went straight to 6th. And it's pulling a heck of a lot better. All right, that's more like it. Okay. All right, let's freaking get this. 6th. Let's put this bad boy into 7th. I can barely feel it pulling me, but it's climbing. Not really. I guess I'm just fat. I guess I'm just fat. That is the moral of the story today, guys. I'm just fat. Cool. All right. Anyway, so there you guys have it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I didn't want this video to be too long. I mean, he was just dropping it off, letting me play with it for a couple days. Oh, wow. It's still, I mean, it still pulls. We're in 2nd gear and it still pulls pretty good. So anyway, let's go through specs really quick that he gave me. So the bike weight is 95 pounds, as I mentioned. It is a 1500 watt, which is 2 horsepower mid-drive motor with 118 pound-feet of torque. That's the specs he gave me. Samsung 48 volt, 17.5 AH battery. The crank wheel sprocket is a 44 tooth. On this bike and the option that it has, it's an upgraded rear cog, so it is a 11 tooth to 50 tooth. And that's pretty much it. You guys, if you're interested, go check it out yourselves. I'll leave a link in the description. This guy did let me, you know, just take it for a couple days if I was interested, which I was. So there you guys have it. It's basically a motorcycle. You just don't need a license to ride it, and you know, don't have to pay for registration and everything. And if you're cruising around a city at 30 miles per hour, you know, that'll get you around. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will catch you guys next time.